Welcome back to BJP Lifestyle, guys. So today I'm up super early. It's about 8:20 right now. I never record videos this early, but yeah, I have to go observe a home inspection for real estate. So this video is gonna be talking about that, and we'll talking about real estate. So it's gonna be a little bit different on the channel here. But if you're not already subscribed, make sure you subscribe down below. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We got about 2 months or so left, right? Two and a half, 3 months. So if you guys could click that subscribe button down below, that'd be great. And of course, like the video. But let's jump right into it. The car is extremely dewy this morning, but hey, at least it's looking good, right? But first, a coffee. Some donuts, maybe. We'll see.
Can I get a medium iced caramel swirl extra decaf?
Alright, anything else?
2 pumpkin donuts, please.
Sure, anything else?
That's all.
Alright, drive up, please.
Thank you.
Alright, what's going on, guys? So I just finished up with everything that I had to do for the day. We're looking at like 1:43 right now. So this morning, there should be a clip with like the intro of the video. This morning I went on an inspection, but that's besides the point. So this video is going to be about the process of becoming a real estate agent in Rhode Island. This is a very different video, but I feel like I should do it, and I feel like it's a good video to get out there, because I know when I was looking, I couldn't find anything specific to this state because no one lives in this state. Wait, a bunch of people live in this state, but anyway, so if you guys are going to be becoming a real estate agent in Rhode Island, it is going to be a not a long process, but kind of like a tedious one. There's kind of a lot of different steps that you need to go through, and it's all going to start with you deciding on how you're going to do your class. The initial class is going to be 45 hours of pre-licensed training. Let me turn the AC on because I'm sweating. Alright, so your first requirement is going to have your 45 hours of pre-licensed training. There's a bunch of different places that you can do it in Rhode Island that will kind of get you that 45 hours. So I brought up the list here from the Rhode Island DBR, the Department of Business Regulation, which you're going to get your license through. And this is just kind of showing the requirements for real estate salesperson applicants. So the things that you're going to need, obviously, like I said, starting with that certificate of completion of 45 hours of licensing classes, if you will, which is just going to be your Rhode Island law is going to be part of that, as well as just a general real estate law and kind of like how it works. So you got to do that 45 hours of pre-licensed training, which is going to help you for your test, which I'll get to in a minute. So you need to do that 45 hours. So there's different ways that you can do it. Some schools offer sponsored, where that's what I did, where a brokerage will pick you up beforehand. They'll pay for the pre-licensing and post-licensing, and then they pay for it all, because otherwise it's like 600 and something for the pre-licensing course with the 45 hours, and then X amount for the post-license training. But for the pre-license training, you have the choice of either doing either one. Remember that if you do the second one, I obviously looked into it and I did it. But if you are going to do the option where you're sponsored in Rhode Island, at least through the school that I did it through, you're going to have to sign a contract for at least 1 year saying that you're going to stay with that brokerage, that you have to stay with that brokerage for a year once you pass and get your license successfully. So that's going to be your first requirement, and with that, it needs to include 3 hours of new agency law. If it doesn't have that within the whole 45 hours included, then you're going to have to take it separately, but you need to have proof that you have that once you go to submit your application. So then once you have that, the next step for you is going to be that you're going to have to get a few different things, actually. So what I did is, once I finished my class, I had already scheduled my test date. So you're gonna have to schedule a test date with Pearson VUE, which again, you can look that up, look up RI real estate exam schedule, or sign up, whatever you need to do. Find that. It's gonna be through Pearson VUE. It's like RI real estate, something like that. You need to schedule it. So currently it's going crazy right now. Everything in the world's going crazy right now, and the scheduling is wild. So I had to schedule a long time. So it took me or initially I had the end of November, and then I moved it to the end of October as people were like changing, canceling, whatever, things opened up. I just kept checking back while I was in my class, and eventually I was actually able to get it for the 30th of September, so I took my test on then. But you're going to need to schedule that, so make sure you're looking and trying to schedule that, because it's really weird right now. So if you can get that sooner, you want to take it as soon after the class as possible, because even just the delay of 3 weeks or so that it took between when I took my test and when I finished my class, it was definitely, a lot of it was not fresh in my brain. So you're going to need that. Make sure you get your, make sure you get that scheduled. But in between then, what I recommend is that, at least what I did and what I heard other people recommending that I should do, is that once you get your initial class done, is to take the 3-hour lead paint class. Again, that's all online, so the lead paint class, you can pick it up, put it down whenever you want. It's not like you have to sit there through a 3-hour lesson or anything like the schooling is. This is just going to be a online kind of schooling test kind of thing. So it's going to ask you quizzes throughout. You just need to pass at the end. I think you need like a 80% or 70 or something. But once you pass that, you're going to get a little certificate, and then you're going to have your lead paint certificate, which is going to be needed for the application process down the road. So now we've covered that you need to do your 45 hours of class, including your 3 hours of new agency law. After that, you're going to need your lead paint / lead mitigation class for 3 hours. And then the next thing you're going to want to do is go to, if you're in Rhode Island, obviously this is for Rhode Island. So if you guys are from another state or something like that, it's not going to be the same. But so I'm trying to make this more specific to Rhode Island to kind of talk through the process and explain how I went through it while it's still fresh in my head, so you guys can, if you guys are from Rhode Island or you find this video and you're from Rhode Island, then you're going to be able to at least understand it a little bit better, because like I said, there's no videos out there or anything that I could find that actually helped. So the next thing is you're going to need a BCI check, which you can just go to the Attorney General's office. You just go in, you think it's $5 or $10, and they print out just a criminal record, like background check, and you're going to need that to submit at the time of application. So now you'll have your 45-hour certificate, your lead paint certificate, and your BCI. Now the next thing you're going to do is take your test. Now the test is going to be 2 portions. You're going to have your Rhode Island section as well as a general real estate section, which is why you learn both in the class. So the first general section is going to be 85 questions. It's going to be a lot of stuff that you learn in the school, but make sure you guys are studying it, because it's not as easy as it seems. A lot of the math questions weren't as bad as I thought they were going to be. Some of them are a little confusing with like math and stuff, but the math questions on the actual test weren't that bad. And for the most part, I will say that they do try and put the wording a little bit confusing, and like 2 of the 4 multiple choice are going to be very similar. So it is going to be a little bit confusing. And then the Rhode Island law, I think I had 60 questions on it. And again, it wasn't too bad, a little bit more confusing. I did fail it the first time, which a lot of people said that happened to them or happens in general, so you might pass one part and then have to take the other. So it's going to cost you $70 to do that, to take the test. And then if you fail one section, you're going to have to pay $70 to test again. It says that you need to wait 24 hours to schedule a new test. I kind of didn't do that, and just that night after I failed, I went home, scheduled the new one for the following Friday, so it was on a Wednesday, then the Friday, and then I passed this past Friday. I got my certificate. So then I'll have my Pearson VUE test score report. So now you'll have everything that you need to submit your application. So you're going to have an original test score report, which is going to be your Pearson VUE for passing the Rhode Island law and the other law, or the general real estate exam. And then you're going to need the 45-hour pre-licensing course certificate, which they will send you from the school. Your BCI check, which is just going to be a paper printout, which is going to show you that either you have a criminal record or you don't, and what they are. As well as your lead paint certificate, which is going to be that thing for the 3-hour class. And then after that, you're going to need to get with your broker. If you don't already have a broker, you're going to have to find a broker at this point, and start trying to figure out who you want to work with. Make sure you do look into them and actually find out what they do and what they offer, how much you're going to have to pay, any contract stuff, any dues that they have, what their commission split is. Make sure you definitely look into that. I think I got really lucky, and my broker's great. They offer a lot of stuff and a lot of training. Like today, I just got my license today, when I'm making this video, which is kind of coincidental that it just came in, but I had submitted everything and whatever this past weekend, so it just came in. Today's Tuesday that I'm recording this. The video is going up Wednesday, so I am officially licensed. I do know what I'm talking about. I have been through this. So I just went on an inspection this morning with them, so I can kind of see how it's going. Obviously, it's not my listing, it's not my buyer, but now I kind of have a little basic understanding. So they're really offering a lot of that kind of stuff. I'm going on like some showings and different things like that I already have scheduled in my calendar. But as I'm just kind of starting to get rolled into things, so definitely make sure you guys are choosing a brokerage that's going to actually give you what you want rather than just signing with one of the big ones because they're a big one. Definitely see what they're going to offer you versus the other ones. And then once you're with your broker and you've picked who you want to work with, you're going to have to get your E&O, which is your errors and omissions insurance. You're either going to get that through your broker, either they're going to pay for it for you, or it's going to be included in your like overall fees, or you're going to have to just pay for it completely out of pocket, which I guess either way you're paying out of pocket, but usually it'll be included or whatever. So you're going to have to get that, and you're going to have to get a certificate from your broker saying that you have errors and omissions insurance. So once you have all of these things, now you're going to fill out the real estate salesperson application, which it looks something like this. Hopefully you guys can see it. But yeah, it's just a normal standard blank form application, which is just going to ask basic questions, and then it's going to ask your broker's information, which is where you're going to need to get all that information from your broker for like their name, their license number. They're going to have to sign off on it and everything, and then you can scan it into the computer and submit it online, or you can drop it all off in a packet to the Department of Business Regulations. I just submitted it online 2 days later, or I guess basically 1 day later because I submitted on a Sunday. Basically the next day, today, I got my license. So you're also going to need 3 references, which are recommendations. On this application, it's just going to ask for name and email. If you do it on the website, like on an online submission, you're going to have to fill out a ton of information on that. So, and then you're going to have to sign off saying like taxes are good, all that kind of stuff. You don't need power of attorney because you're good on that. But yeah, so that's basically all you're going to need in one big packet, and that's going to get submitted to DBR. They're going to review it and either approve or deny you. Once you do get approved, oh, I forgot, you're also going to need to include checks in that. So either you're going to pay online. If you do pay online, there is a credit card fee. I think you pay an extra $5. That's what I did. I just, ease of access. I do have checks. I wrote them out already, but then I decided I could do it online. So your first check's going to be $140. Obviously, it depends on the time of year that you are submitting your application and everything, because renewals and stuff, it's a whole mess. You'll learn about that in your class. But basically, yeah, so you're going to have to pay a $140 check to the general treasurer, which is just going to be your license fees, all that kind of stuff that's going as far as the license. And then you're also going to have a second check, which is going to be $25, which is going to go to your real estate recovery fund, which, if you don't know about that, you'll learn about that in the class as well. Basically, it's just giving sort of an insurance from the government that the agent is going to do what they need to do and do proper and do the right kind of things for their buyer or seller, whoever they're working with as a client. But yeah, that's pretty much all it is. It's pretty straightforward. I know it can be really confusing, and then there's going to be a lot of things that are going to throw you off through the way. Like I said, if you fail your test one time, I mean, if you fail the whole thing, take it again. Make sure that you study again and you're ready to take it. Don't try and rush it. And like I said, study. It's super important. I'd never failed a test before. Like if I studied for a test especially, but even if I didn't, I usually could work my way through it and pass any test. But this one, it was a little bit different, and I wasn't, like I said, I didn't pass the Rhode Island section first, but then I studied, retook it, and I got through. So don't give up if you do. I wanted to give up, but here I am. So that's going to be about it for this video, guys. If you got any information for this video, make sure you click that like button down below. Of course, comment any questions you have. I guess message me if you're in Rhode Island and you want to sell or buy, because I'm allowed to do that now. But yeah, so make sure you subscribe down below. I think we're at like 438, 440 subs. We're growing at a crazy rate compared to how I was growing previously. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. That's what we're going for. So if you guys could click that subscribe button, it would really help out on the channel. But that's about it for this video, guys. Peace.